Hi everyone, welcome to our video, and today we're doing a small Q&A about ourselves and Formula One.
Yes, so we on our Instagram and Discord we asked everyone to send in questions, and we got a few questions. I think we should start with the personal ones and then move over to the F1 questions.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the first one that would be good to start with is, how did you get together as a group to start Girls on the Grid? I think we've answered this question a couple of times in live streams, but never really on our YouTube channel.
No.
So as Girls on the Grid, we got together because of a TikTok and Instagram post I did. And then these three girls replied, and this all happened on a Friday or a Thursday. And then on Friday, we made an Instagram group. And then we were like, okay, we should meet up and discuss a few things. So we planned a Zoom meeting for Sunday. And on Tuesday after that, we had our first recording. So it was really quick. But that's how we got together. We didn't know each other before this, or like I knew Julia and Kelly, but not really. We were in a group chat together, but that was it. We never even really talked to each other, if I'm correct.
No.
No.
But yeah, that's how this all happened.
It all went very fast.
It all went really fast.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we all got along straight away.
Same.
Because we really just dived into it.
Yes.
We really rushed this. I mean, it turned out amazing, not gonna lie, but it could have been.
Yeah,
but it didn't, so no need to worry about that.
Oh, I'm so glad it all turned out like this.
Yeah, same.
That was, I think, the only really personal question. The other personal questions also have to do something with F1.
Which makes sense.
It does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the questions we got is, which driver matches with your personality the most?
Ooh.
I think we all need some time to think about that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got a bit of a lot of them. Like, certain personality traits in each one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
I think I'm a mix of like a few drivers.
Same.
Yeah.
Because I've got the anger issues that Max and Yuki have.
Same. Girl.
And I have the mental age of Lando.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
I mean, we all got the looks of Charles, so.
So, I've got the luck of George.
Oh,
I got the caring side of Seb.
Yes, same.
Seb's just amazing.
So Kimi. Honestly, the way Kimi is with his kids, I'm with kids as well. Like,
same.
Yeah. But I think, like, in some parts, I can relate to Kimi a lot.
Yes.
Same, like social skills.
Yes,
gone.
Same.
Apart from when you're that like one person.
Yeah.
Wait, Kimi is with Giovinazzi. Like, then his social skills.
Yeah, I think we're just all a mixture of like a lot of drivers.
Yeah.
Not really one driver that really fits our personality.
If you would have to choose like one driver, who would you pick?
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm thinking about
personality based, okay? Not personality based.
Personality based.
I think for me it could be like, because I know people see George in another way than I do, but I see George as this really funny but also bitchy person.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm most like George, I think. Because
same.
I have the worst resting bitch face.
I don't know. I'd say like I hope I'm like Lando, like in the fun sort of like chill way. But then I'd say like I'm a lot like Kimi as well.
Yeah, I think you are like Lando a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lando for me as well.
Yes, for sure. Yes,
it's great because George and Lando are great. George and Lando are really good friends. So.
Yeah. That would explain a lot.
Like, I am just as clumsy as Lando is.
Oh, yes.
Same.
But George is clumsy as well, so that fits me perfectly.
Same world. Same.
So, I think, Yeah, I think that
I
would.
think that answered the question.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think we answered it.
So another question we got was, what is the most valuable thing that F1 has given you?
The friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely the
Okay.
friends I've made through the sport.
Yeah.
And yes, of
Mm.
course, going to races and everything is fun. But like I was at Monaco and the race was shit, but I met so many amazing people while being at the race. And also with this, like without the sport, I never would have met you. And this is one of the best things that ever happened to me. And I think when I say this, I speak for all of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just also
Yeah.
the lessons the sport teach.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for
Yeah.
me as well, like a safety net. Like when you're
Yeah.
down and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to do. You got F1. Like
Mm.
Yeah,
you know that it's something that is always there.
definitely.
I think the same goes for me, like mainly the friends, because I've met amazing people and just had the best talks and made the best friends through F1. But also this, because I wouldn't have done anything with YouTube if this didn't happen.
Yeah,
I
me
think.
neither.
So
Yeah. I think
yeah,
as well, just my confidence from this and like from meeting new people. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
also I'd
really
say like I've learned some good life lessons from the drivers. I don't know about you, but like I don't know if I'll answer like a question that's coming up, but like with Lando, it's like just be yourself and
yeah.
have fun, like just enjoy it.
yeah,
And let's be honest, Zeb is the best role model you can get.
for sure.
So, and also for me, it's like the connection with my mother. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
the sport is just amazing, and it's brought so many things for all of us. To be honest,
Yeah. So another question we got is, what would your perfect team look like in F1 and F2, including team principal and 2 drivers? Could be current drivers or past drivers.
Ooh.
But you need a team for F1 and F2.
ooh, okay,
I'm not sure about F2 team principals because I know none.
me neither.
Yeah.
Just go for the Prima one.
Who is the Prema team principal?
I don't know.
I know. I wait. Something
But, like-
Lozine. His last name is Lozine, I think.
Can I choose new people as team principals, or does it have to be like current team principals?
Oh, I think I know where you're
going
going.
with
I definitely know where you're going, girl.
Because I know who I want as my dream team
You know,
principal.
get him as your team principal, girl.
Get him as your-
Thank you. Yeah, I think I know what my team will look like.
I'm thinking of the drivers now.
Oh, the drivers is not even a hard one for me.
Yeah, I'm thinking about my second driver.
Oh no, I
want
know
to
for a
like
fact who
four-
my second driver is going to be.
I want like 4 drivers in my team.
I know. Yeah, but you have like F2. You can put them in F2.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I know. I am. Could we also introduce new drivers to F2 for this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I know who you're thinking about as well.
One? Am I
Oh,
that
girl.
predictable?
Yeah, just go for it.
Okay, yeah.
I
Who's
don't
gonna go
see-
first with their teams?
I don't care.
You start.
Yeah, go on.
You asked the
Rika.
question, you start.
Oh, I said. For F1, my team principal would be Gunther
Yeah.
because I love that man. My first driver would be George Russell, and my second driver would be Nico Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
100% support that.
I just need Nico back in the sport.
Yeah, I get that.
And for F2, I'm not sure about the team principal. Don't really care about the team principal of F2 because there's not as much drama in between those team principals than it is in F1. Or is it?
Sure.
No, I also
No.
think like that's like not as much drama. And for the drivers, I would go with Marcus Armstrong and Marcel Kiefer. Just get him into F2 straight away.
Get him in there.
So that's
Girl,
my
our
team.
teams look way too familiar. Because for me, F1 team principal, definitely Günther Steiner. That man is iconic as fuck. For drivers, I would go with Charles Leclerc and George Russell. Because for me, there's all like the 2 brightest talents we've got in the sport. And in F2, I would go for whatever team principal and basically the same drivers, Marcus Armstrong, Marcel Kiefer. I'm sorry. But as you said, we want Marcel in the sport.
Yes, we do.
We do.
We do, yeah.
We're all agreed on that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Marcus and Marcel would make an amazing team.
For sure.
It would.
So for F1, I would pick, no surprise, Lando and Max. And team principal Gunther as well. I just think he's the best.
Yeah.
Yes.
For F2, I would go for, I think, Liam Lawson and Marcel, actually.
Oh, that would be
Oh,
such a
that's
good duo.
That's a good one.
Yes.
We love that. It's
Yeah, we would-
actually amazing.
Yeah.
Because they are friends. So
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, for F1, for team principals, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but I would go for duo.
Yeah, go for it.
I would go for a Kimi and Seb duo because I think they would be great
Yes.
as team
They would
you
be
principals.
really just
amazing.
did that.
Hendrik is just coming up with new rules now, everything.
Yeah.
No, but
and like,
there's-
I'm not going.
If I had to pick a current team principal, I would choose Gunter. But
Yeah.
you know, my dream to have a Seb Kimi team principal duo because I think they would like fit and work together so good
Yeah,
as
for
team
sure.
principals. And then for my drivers, I would choose Charles and Lando. And for F2 team principal, whoever
The Prema one. Just get the Prema one.
whoever
Yeah.
will do their job the best.
Exactly.
And then for drivers, I would say Marcus and I love Guan Yu Zhou.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally
know-
understandable.
So him as well.
Yeah.
I think we would have great teams.
Yeah.
We
Who
would.
do we, who,
Yeah.
adding more spice to the question, who's our reserve driver in F1?
I think mine would be Pierre.
No.
Mine would be Callum.
Yeah,
Same, Callum.
same. Callum or Liam.
Yeah, and then I would open up a junior team
Yeah.
with Callum and then later Marcus.
Thinking about
It
it.
really got us thinking about loads of different things.
Yeah. Okay. Who did you first support when you got into F1?
Mm.
I know who it is.
Yeah, same.
I'm really
Charles.
For me, it's Nico Hulkenberg.
Because,
Mine's
like-
Max.
When I was a baby, it was Michael Schumacher. But like
yeah.
I really got into F1, it was Charles all the way.
The thing is, I never not watched the sport. I think the second I was born, I was sitting in front of the TV with my mother. So I think I always watched it. And when I was like really young, kindergarten age, it was Michael, of course. Like I'm sorry, I'm
There
German.
was
I just
no one else.
there was no
Yeah,
other
no.
way.
Let's be honest.
And then again, I'm German. It was Seb, and I still love that man. And I mean, yes, of course, I supported him. But when I was like 12 years old, I didn't really get much of the sport. But now, I watched, I watched all 4 seasons when that man won the world title. Again, just because I've got too much time. I don't, but I used to have a lot of time. So for me, it's Seb.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I love how we always have someone else that we supported when we first got into
Yeah.
the sport.
Yeah. And in the end, we just love the sport. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
we do.
sure. Okay, so the next one is who impressed you this season and who did we expect more from?
For me, Lando's impressed me the most.
Yes.
Like I've been a
Yeah.
supporter of Lando since he started in F1, and I don't think anyone expected the
No.
just the massive
No.
step forward he's taken this year. Like he's just, I think he's still got like points in every race.
Yeah, he's the only one to
Um,
get points every race this
yeah.
season.
yeah,
I
and
just
just
think-
one finish out of the top 5, which
Yes,
is still
it's
8.
crazy.
Yeah.
I know he's just really stepped up this season,
Yeah.
which we love to see. And for a person who disappointed or whatever. Yeah, I think Daniel. I think everyone had higher expectations of
Yeah.
Daniel, especially like comparing him to Carlos, who's in like a similar position, just moved teams,
Yeah.
got like a teammate who's so strong. But I hope he gets there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And someone else who I expected more from is Yuki. Because he had
Yeah,
such a
he-
great start of the
Mhm.
season, and then it all went downhill for him.
Yeah.
In some
Yeah.
way. So yeah, I definitely expected more from Yuki. Not that he's doing
Yeah.
bad, but he's not doing as good as I expected.
Exactly. The driver that really impressed me this season is also Pierre, because he keeps out racing the car. Also George.
Yeah.
Yeah,
mean,
I was gonna say
George
George as well, like-
same.
That's
Amazing.
insane what they do with the car. That's like,
Yeah,
I think George said that in an interview last weekend that they just out qualify the car like he does every race, and that's why he keeps falling back, because that's not the true pace of the car.
yeah.
No.
Sadly.
Yeah. I think someone who I'm disappointed in as well this season, and this is gonna sound so
I think I know where you're going.
bad. Like Daniel is one of them. I expected more of them. But to be fair, I thought Charles would do better this season as well. I said it, it's out
No,
there.
it's okay. It's okay.
I get you. I totally get you. Because
but-
Carlos is really close to me. Maybe even
Yeah.
like better
Yeah.
than him at the moment in that car.
Yeah.
And like, we know Ferrari isn't doing what they can do. Like the car is not up there, but it has been shit for the past couple of years already. And still, Charles was always able to perform great.
Yeah.
But this year, sometimes I think like, man, you're not getting everything out of the car that
It's
I
like
know,
fast
and we
race.
all know is able to get out of the car.
What has been our favorite race this year and why?
I know what it is. I was
Yeah,
talking to
same. I know
someone
what.
about it yesterday.
I'm struggling between like
It-
two or three races,
Yeah.
because they all gave
I
me
mean,
other
most
highlights.
of them have been pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, have been
Yeah.
really good this season. Like, some of them so unexpectedly good. So-
Yeah.
But mine would be Imola. I just think that was just such
No,
a crazy
it's my-
race.
It's my least favorite race of the
Events.
season.
It was just, I just loved it.
For me, it was Baku. There's some horrible things happened at Baku. Baku had everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm struggling between Baku, Imola, and Monaco.
Yeah, my top
Because like
two
for
is Monaco and Baku.
yeah,
Yeah.
because like in Monaco we've got this great podium that we also got in Baku. For racing,
Yeah,
Imola was
exactly.
amazing. I love
No.
wet races. I mean, the George fan is here. talking.
I hate the Imola race.
No, see, that's me with Baku. I'm just like, hey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get
I'm in
that.
The
Spain,
thing-
but the SS Island.
Yeah.
the thing with like the Monaco race, why I didn't choose that one, is like, I love the podium and it was a good race, but
It was boring.
it's still
Yeah.
Monaco.
Yeah,
So I think we've seen better races, but
Yes.
podium wise,
podium wise.
Yeah, podium wise,
Livery
Monaco was my
wise?
fave.
loved it.
It was,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. So I think I gotta go with Baku.
Yeah. I'm
Also-
stuck between Baku and Monaco, but yeah.
A race that really surprised me this year. I think we can all agree on that one.
France.
Yeah.
France.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
I don't know
definitely.
why, but I was thinking like, do I pick France as my favorite race this week?
It
this
surprised
I
me
don't think
so
anyone's ever
much.
done
No,
that before.
year? It's up there.
You know,
Yeah.
the thing with
Yes.
France was it was unexpectedly good for
Mm.
French like turns, because French is usually
Yeah.
so boring, nothing happens. But this year, a lot happened, and it was like so tight until the end of the race.
No, it was great.
It was amazing.
We actually saw overtakes. We never
Yes.
get that in France. I was
No.
like, are we in France or where are we?
Yeah, I was surprised, but yeah, I totally get that. So,
What is this?
last but not least, we have two spicy questions.
No.
The first one is what are our opinions on the incident involving Max and Lewis last weekend? Before we
Well-
get into anyone's opinions, please know that these are our opinions. We do not disagree with what the FIA did or with anything that happened during the race, because we are not stewards. We don't know what's right or wrong. The stewards probably did the right thing for what happened. This is just our opinion on the situation. Just a little disclaimer so that we don't get
Yeah,
hated on anything, because this is just our opinion. We're not
exactly.
professionals in saying what's right or wrong. So yeah.
I think the crash was like, we saw it coming. It had to happen at one point in this season. And like Lewis and Max also battled during the sprint, and it was just a question of time and where it would happen, because we all knew at some point in the season things would get so heated that this just had to happen at some point. Of course, the crash was horrible, and I'm not saying that it's good that they crashed, but the tension between them is just so big that it just had to happen. And Max was the one that crashed. So
Yeah, but I would have of course we saw the crash coming, but I didn't think it would happen in the fastest corner.
no, definitely
I
not.
know.
No, we have, or one of the fastest corners we have on the calendar. Because if it would have happened in any other corner or any other point on the track, it would have been a less bad crash, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
For
think it was
sure.
the fact that it was such a bad crash that
Yeah.
made everyone just go crazy over it.
Yeah,
People
exactly.
arguing, and yeah, I think it was just that, because some people have been saying should the impact of the crash, the consequences of the crash, impact the penalty, which I agreed how Lewis can cause I would say Lewis's fault, and I just find it weird how that can happen, but he can still win the race.
Same.
To me, that's just not right.
It doesn't sit right with me either. His rival is still in the hospital, got a penalty, but he still wins the race.
Yeah.
It's no consequences at all besides 2
Mm.
penalty points. So what?
Yeah.
I said what I said. I'm sorry.
I think with as you said, that people should that the FIA should change the penalties regarding the situation. In some way, I agree with that, but on the other hand, that will make it so messy in every way possible. Because then everyone will always have a different opinion on what happened during the crash. Because Daniel Kvyat also got the same penalty for what happened with Rome in Bahrain. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't Fiat's fault, because that was just honestly just a really bad race incident.
It was just a racing incident, to be honest.
But he got a penalty for that as well, even though Kvyat did nothing wrong there. It was Grosjean who went over Kvyat's wheel, if I'm correct.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
It was actually Grosjean.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Kvyat still got a penalty for that. While the thing with Max, in my opinion, was more Lewis's fault than Max's fault. I'm not saying it was fully Lewis's fault or fully Max's fault. We'll keep that in the middle. But in my opinion, it was more Lewis's fault, because Lewis wasn't hitting the apex or anything. Max left him room. And Lewis also got 10-second penalty and 2 seconds for a crash. Don't get me wrong, it was a bad crash, but had a less worse outcome than the one in Bahrain.
Yeah.
So, with looking at the situation and changing penalties regarding the situation, I don't think that that's something that should happen in the sport, because they have set rules for a reason. And if you're gonna be oh, that was a bad crash, it was a bad crash, don't get me wrong, but if the FIA would be oh no, that's a bad crash, we're gonna give you 10 seconds stop and go, 4 penalty points, and then when the same happens but the outcome is less worse or less bad, that the FIA is, oh no, just 5 seconds, that's not okay, because
It's just a really difficult thing
Yeah.
to decide. And
Yeah.
that's why there are stewards and former drivers to decide something like that, not just people like us. And
Exactly. Like
I
we're
get
not
that-
no experts on the FIA
No.
rules by
No.
any means.
No, we're not.
And I don't think many people who are like arguing about this know specifically the rules either.
No, for
So
sure.
yeah, it's just like sometimes you could look at it like, see in Austria, like they were giving out so many penalties for for things like crossing the, like UK got a penalty for crossing the pit lane entry. Like when you compare that to the crash, I'm just like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in
true.
Austria, they went crazy with the
yeah, they were basically like Oprah
penalties.
Winfrey, and you get a penalty, you get a penalty, you get a penalty.
penalties for everyone.
Yeah.
basically.
So, question following up the incident between Lewis and Max. What did we think about Lewis celebrating after the race?
I think I got a bit of a controversial opinion on that.
Tell us.
Go on.
First of all, I still haven't seen the race yet. So
Maybe
that's
that
why
would explain it.
You go, girl.
so that's why I didn't say anything about the crash, because I haven't seen it yet and I don't want to put out my opinion on something that I've not seen. So that's that. Although I do got an opinion that I'm not gonna share it. But about the celebration, I think I get why people are angry at it, and I get why people are like, why are you celebrating while the person you crashed with is in a hospital and is like in a lot of pain probably, and like you're not acknowledging the fact that a lot of people think you caused it and all that. On the other hand, he has had a pretty bad season so far, and he won a race. He won his home race. I get that you would celebrate.
Yeah, same. I
Yeah.
mean, I get that he would celebrate, but the way he celebrated was as if he won the world championship.
Yeah,
That
Yes.
just doesn't sit right with me. The celebrating, I fully understand, because as you said, it's his home race. His season hasn't been as good. So I totally get that he would celebrate, but he just celebrated it like it was the last race of the season and he won the championship, and that's just not okay.
no.
I
Mm.
agree
was-
with you, Nienke. For me, it was like, I get that you want to celebrate after a difficult season so far. You won your home race, even though it didn't look like you would win it because of for so many reasons. So I get that you would celebrate more than a normal race win.
Yeah,
But in the end, I mean, we're not Lewis, of course we're not, and we're not in the situation. But for
No.
me, it just doesn't sit right with me the way he celebrated while Max
No.
was still in the hospital, not knowing what was going on with him.
yeah. Also, something that doesn't really sit right with me is in the Dutch interview they did with Lewis, like for the Dutch TV.
Oh, yeah.
Someone asked him, like the interviewer asked him, like, Max is in the hospital, does that change the situation for you? And he was like, no, that doesn't change a thing. And I think that's not sportsmanlike, because no matter like if Max caused the crash or Lewis, doesn't matter. It was a collision involving both. So no matter who was at fault, it's just it should still matter to Lewis whether Max was in the hospital or not. And I think he could have reacted a bit different on that question.
Like Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel was just out.
Daniel.
I do think that people went very harsh on Lewis.
Yes, for sure.
Yes,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Beside the fact that they were very racist toward Lewis, and that's just plain old simple not okay.
Yeah.
I think people were still very harsh with the things they said to Lewis, that he shouldn't have celebrated and he should have reacted very different. Let's also remember they're pumped up with adrenaline.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If I like at night have a adrenaline for whatever reason because I'm walking home and it's scary, I'm not thinking clear anymore, and that's only a small amount of adrenaline. They have been pumped up with adrenaline for 2 hours, so I think like keeping that in consideration, yeah, I feel like I get Lewis, and I would have
Yeah.
probably celebrated as well.
Yeah, for sure. But just like,
Maybe like after the race and after the adrenaline is gone, I would have reacted.
Yeah, maybe like more in private, because I feel like he would probably
Yeah.
already know that people were gonna judge, like people were gonna say
Yeah.
stuff like whatever Lewis was doing,
Yeah.
and like obviously he broke a new record. It was his home race. The crowds were back, so I do understand why he would celebrate, because the crowd want a celebration. Like they're not
Of
there to
course.
just
Yeah.
watch nothing. So I totally get that, but yeah, I think
Same.
everything went a bit over the top just
yeah,
in
for
general.
sure. Just like the thing that, as I just said, the way he reacted to questions, asking if his opinion changed when Max was in the hospital, or the way he celebrated was just maybe a bit too much. Like celebrating all for it, because as we've already said multiple times, it was his home race and everything, but just the way things happened is why people get mad. But some people go really over the top. I've seen
Yeah.
Dutch people putting up petitions to throw tomatoes at Lewis during the Dutch Grand Prix. What goes on in your head if you think, oh wait, I think it's a good idea to make a petition to tell people to throw tomatoes at Lewis Hamilton during a race?
It doesn't make sense. It's like,
It's as they
Oh.
I get a feeling that they just don't want the Dutch Grand Prix to happen with fans, because if you're gonna put things like this out there, the circuit and the FIA and Formula One might be like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
Let's just have the race without any fans.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
with very strict rules.
Yes.
And like
Mm.
a lot of security. The fun is gone as well.
Yeah.
Like
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't want it to get like to keep going out of hand, because it's
No.
already went too far. And
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
it was just like a few weeks ago when the Euros was on and everything was happening in England. I was like, I'm so glad F1 fans aren't like this, but
Well,
that changed quickly.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
just think, well, I
Yeah.
don't want the sport to be ruined from
No.
this, and like
Same.
from toxic fans. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone who's watching this, please keep this in mind. Be nice to everyone.
Yeah.
And
Respect
don't
people's
spread any
opinions.
hate.
No. That's what we
And
stand
leave
for.
the tomatoes at home when you're going to
Yes,
the Dutch
please.
race. Please.
First of all,
please.
it's just mean. Second of all,
Nika,
it's a waste of
if there's no
tomatoes.
tomatoes in the shop, then
Keep us updated.
I think I'm gonna have to call to stores and say, like, if people buy a bunch of
Don't
tomatoes, just
sell
please
any.
ask them why they buy so many.
Be like, you're an F1 fan. Nah, we don't sell tomatoes to F1 fans anymore.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Be sure to check out our social medias and comment down below if there's anything you guys want to know about us. Or anything you want to tell us, you can comment that as well.
Yeah,
Don't-
your opinions, because
We love-
we love reading people's opinions. and,
Yeah,
like, I'm
we
all
love
for
that.
like my mind changing, like people debating. I
Yeah.
love it.
And tell us your favorite F1 moment from this season so far.